TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and even the top-flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.
You're listening to the PRO Media Network. The next level in entertainment.
On the PRO Media Network.
You're now listening to Ring Kings Boxing World for the true boxing family member. Welcome on into Ring Kings Boxing. And listen, fam, we're going to be recapping, man, this fight between Charlo and Castano that end in a split decision draw, man. Shouldn't have happened that way, but hey, guess what? We're going to cover here on Ring Kings Boxing, man. I'm Big Q chiming in on Ring Kings Boxing World. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button if you aren't a member of the nation, man, as we delve into this one. We'll cover Jermell Charlo's bout up against Castano. We got some Tyson Fury-Deontay Wilder news, and of course Tyson Fury, going against him, and we got some Terence Crawford stuff as well. So without further ado, we're gonna get some insight here on the post-fight breakdown on Charlo and see what these guys had to say about the bout at the end of the day. Man, this was a good fight. It just didn't end up the way we thought it should have ended up, to be honest, which I thought Charlo could have fought a better fight, but we'll delve into it. I'm Big Q on this episode of Ring Kings Boxing. I'm bringing in my co-host, Eddie Too Mean Johnson. What's up, Too Mean?
Yeah, what's good?
What's good, my friend? And we're going to delve into this, man. Like I said, we got quite a few topics, but here's the post-fight interview or call after the matchup between Jermell Charlo and Brian Castano. Here we go. Y'all put one if y'all can hear.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a split decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Steve Weisfeld scores about 114 to 113 in favor of Brian Castano. Judge at ringside, Nelson Vasquez sees the action. 117 to 111 for Jermell Charlo. And judge at ringside, Tim Cheatham scores the bout 114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is a split decision draw. Both fighters.
I may be the Sports Illustrated after all, didn't I say at the top, barring a draw, and I can't believe we end up with a split draw. There will be no undisputed champion at 154 pounds.
I think in general, nobody should be outraged at this. It was a very close fight, and nobody's happy with the draw. We wanted an undisputed champion,
so
but it is what it is.
So you're saying bring on round 13?
Yeah, apparently.
Let's go to Jim Gray to try.
All right, Morrow, thank you. Jermell, this was a terrific fight. What is your thought on having a draw?
Shout out to San Antonio for coming through, baby. I love y'all. I'll come back to this place. The draw was, what I wanted to hear. If anything, I won this fight.
Yeah, that's some of what Charlo was saying, man. But the reality at the end of the day, man. Well, let's finish up. Here we go.
You know, he did. Brian Castano's a tough warrior. You know, he gonna give a lot of people problems. But like I said, my power is something serious at this weight division.
You had him in trouble in the second round and then again in the 10th round. Did you feel as though you had to knock him out because Derek James did tell you in your corner you needed a knockout in the 12th round to win this fight?
Yeah, my coach told me I needed a knockout in the 9th round, and I just knew that, you know, he knew what he was talking about. I believe in my coach, and, you know, this is my first time experiencing something like this. So, hey, this come with boxing, baby. Wins, losses, and draws. My lines only still rock with me.
Jermell, let me ask you, this man threw more punches and connected on more punches than any opponent that you had. Did you know that coming into the fight? Obviously, there was going to be continuous pressure. Was it more than you had expected?
Well, I know he was a tough warrior. Like I said, I know he threw a hell of a lot of punches against almost every opponent.
Let's move on to the next into this to mean. You heard what Charlo said, man. You know, and we watched this fight. And what's interesting about this fight is, of course, like you said, it's a split draw. A lot of people thought Castano won, and even you heard him say that his trainer James told him, "Listen, you're gonna need a knockout to win this fight." So he knew that Charlo was behind on the cards, but nonetheless, you get a split decision there. A lot of people were booing because they knew Castano had won this fight. So now we go to a second fight between both of these guys for unification as well. But in this fight, speak to me about Charlo's game and how Charlo. This was a fight that Charlo was supposed to win. This never went 12 rounds. He had all the attributes fighting Castano to keep him away from him. He fought a fight that was conducive for Castano. Talk to me about what you seen in the Charlo Castano fight.
Yeah, Charlo, he fought the wrong fight, man. You know what I'm saying? Castano's strength is to come forward and throw a lot of punches. You know what I'm saying? He let him come forward. He just kept easing in, and Charlo would just throw that one jab. He was one-dimensional with his like establishing his jab. Like he'll throw just one jab. You know what I'm saying? He's like, okay, well, this is easy. I can just ease it on him because they ain't nothing really coming different. Just that one little jab, maybe two, maybe a 1-2, but you know what I'm saying? He was making himself so obvious, man. Instead of mixing up his attack, like jabbing upstairs, downstairs, and throwing a straight right, and you know what I'm saying, and then come back with a jab or something like that. He was just too one-dimensional. And, you know what I'm saying? The guy really had no threat coming at him like that. You know what I'm saying? Until Charlo started really backing him up. That's when he able to land. And Charlo wasn't throwing no body shots to try to bring that man's hands down because he was holding his hands up pretty good. But he supposed to hit them with them, throw them body shots to bring them hands down, wear him out, especially like in the first half of the fight. And he didn't do that. He really didn't throw no body shots, so he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't bring the man's hands down to really start landing some clean punches on him in the second half of the fight and possibly get him out of there. But Charlo was making him miss a lot too. I mean, the guy was landing a lot, but he was also missing a lot, and he also was hurting the hell out of Charlo with those blows too, because when he hit him with one, I think it was a left hook. Well, Charlo's both his knees almost touched that canvas, man, because he got wobbled pretty bad. So I think that's probably why Charlo was, you know what I'm saying, so cautious of, you know what I'm saying, punching this guy, man. You know what I'm saying? He felt the dude's power, man. But he just fought the wrong fight, man. You know what I'm saying? He fought the wrong fight. But Castano, man, he was, you know what I'm saying, he came to fight, man. You know what I'm saying? He definitely gets my respect.
Yeah, it's interesting because he spoke about guys his power. Jermell Charlo spoke about his power and the fact that that he carries some power, which he does have punching power, but it takes more than your punching power, Jermell. It takes more than that. You're gonna have fights like Castano that's gonna fight, that's gonna come, that can take your shots. But obviously, Castano wasn't really that impressed by his power because he was marching to him damn near the whole fight. Go ahead, to me.
Yeah, but I'm like we said before a few shows ago, I was saying how Charlo, he he be trying to tear motherfuckers' heads off of every fucking shot instead of just letting his combinations flow. I guarantee he would knock more people out if he would just let his punches flow in combination instead of trying to wind up too much, man. Like he really trying to knock a motherfucker's head into the audience and shit, man. That ain't gonna work. People gonna pick up on that and like, okay, he gonna wind up, back out. You know what I'm saying? And then soon he miss, counter his ass. Like Harrison was doing. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna that you can't be one dimensional. You gotta mix your attack up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, and that's true. And I was alluding to that, and I agree with you. That's the default mechanism for guys for Charlo. Even his brother does that at times. It's like the game plan goes out the window because you got a fighter that's willing to mix it up. And then it should have been a smarter fight. He shouldn't have took all of that punishment, as much punishment as he took. If he would have simply used his reach advantage that he had, double up or triple up on that jab, and he has a mean shotgun jab. They both Charlos do. If he'd have used that jab, he could have chopped Castano down. This wouldn't have win a late round fight because really on cards, Castano won the fight. That's why the people were booing at the end of the fight. But and I agree with you. Charlo fought the wrong fight against Castano. He, like I said, we said should have used his jab more to keep him at length. He fought the fight that was conducive for Castano, and he was fortunate that the judges didn't rule in Castano's favor, and he would have had his belts took tonight. So it was a bit of a relief in his opinion. But you can't have that default thinking all the time. The biggest attribute or the biggest equalizer that he has is not his power, it's his brains. Use your goddamn brain in the fight. If you come and you fight the guy the correct way, you get him out of there. You know, Castano took a lot of his punches, but eventually if he'd have kept doubling and tripling up on that jab, he would have won this fight a lot easier than he would have won this fight very clearly. But it's also the fact, to me, let me ask you this, is that why wasn't he double and triple teaming up on that jab? Why wasn't he using that jab more? Could that be to the point that he was respecting Castano's power? The reason why he wasn't doubling up on that jab, body to head? What do you think about that?
I think he was giving a little too much respect. And like I said, he wasn't able to make adjustments to Castano's style, man. Even though he didn't fight the right fight, he should have made the adjustments. Like his trainer was telling him what he's supposed to do, but he wasn't really listening, man. Like, look, you say you can offset everything he's doing with the jab, man. And you know what I'm saying? Everybody know you just don't keep throwing the same jab back to back. You got to switch. You got to mix the attack up. Like start off with the throw a straight right hand, a lead right hand, the jab to the stomach, upstairs, downstairs, upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Double up, triple up on the jab. You know what I'm saying? He was just doing like one dimensional, man. So you know what I'm saying? It was easy for him to like just hold his hands high and walk in. Just kept easing in on him all night. The same thing he kept doing over and over again. Get him against the rope and start banging him up. And I'm like, you can't make adjustments. Like, look, this guy doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, he fought the wrong fight. He need to study that fight and start correcting the mistakes that he be making, man.
Yes, indeed. And Charlo avoids the upset. And Castano, because on the cards, man, the cards show Castano came away with the victory. But the judges says Castano ends in split decision draw. A lot of the people that were actually in the event booed it. They thought that Castano actually won the fight. And of course, Kevin James knew it too, because he told Charlo, listen, you got to get a knockout to win this fight because you're behind on the cards. And it worked out for Charlo this time around. But like I said, very curious that we see some of the game's best fighters this year having very pedestrian outcomes. You know, like Charlo is a lot, you know, in my opinion, he's a lot better than Castano. You know, and if he would have used the correct game plan, he would have got him out of there. A lot of questioning in this boxing decisions mentally made by Charlo, in my opinion, in this fight. It was frustrating because he was like, dude, just double up. Simple shit, fundamental shit that he wasn't following for whatever reason. Then we watched Shakur Stevens bout. It was the same disappointing outcome. Devin Haney's fight is the same. It's just like a line of it this year that we're having these fights against these fighters that are not even close to them, and we just having these outcomes that's not what we anticipating. Like they're farly superior than some of these other guys, and then they have these mediocre outcomes. But anyway, Charlo, that's the decision on that. That's really a tough loss. Now, of course, to me that they'll bounce this back with that decision. They're going to run a part 2 game plan back together. Probably sometimes, I don't know, later on this year. It's already middle July, perhaps in December, maybe early the first quarter of 2022. I mean, to go back now, if this happens again, how does number 2 Charlo versus Castano 2 ends in your opinion?
Castano, you know what I'm saying, he need to make adjustments too. Like, need to jab more, move his head. You know what I'm saying, and really press more than what he was doing. Charlo definitely, he have to back this guy up, keep him backing up, take the fight to him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm saying use his jab, switch his attack up, let his punches flow, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I say, you can't keep being one dimensional. You got to switch your shit up. Because a smart fighter is going to pick up on that. And like, okay, he's one dimensional, man. I know exactly what he's going to do every single time. You can't just rely on power, man. I mean, it's great to have power, but you can't just rely on that. Because, you know what I'm saying, what if you ran into a guy with a hard-ass head? Like Castano, he got wobbled, but that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, he stayed in there. He didn't get dropped.
Right.
So he got a chin. You know what I'm saying, you need more than that. You need more than just power, man. Like, he had more than that. That motherfucker, like I said, him and his brother got awesome jabs, man. Throwback jabs. You know what I'm saying? They got skill. I know you know what I'm saying? They got way more skill than what they've been showing, man.
Yeah, I hope he pulls it together, man, because he talks about his power and how his power is, is one of the best in that division. But like I'm saying, man, with 30 plus fights on his belt professionally, sitting there a unified champion. And this was for undisputed unification for that division. So it's interesting that Charlo has to dig a little bit deep. He got to come back with a better game plan. You can't fight Castano. And this is a Castano style fight. You have to use your length and keep Castano away from you. That's the only way this is a fight. If you allow him to get close to you, you got to use the jab to keep him away and then double and triple up on the jab, body head. Like you said, I witnessed that as well, that he did not work the body like he was supposed to. He was trying to, at a certain point in the fight, he was just trying to haymaker the dude up out of here. And I'm like, man, what are you doing, man? I mean, if you see the guy got a hard head, and the guy took some hard punishment, when you recognize that, just go into your lumberjack mode and start, making chops at that tree. Sooner or later, this fight wouldn't have went later on to the 12th round. If the fight would have been fought like we know Charlo could, he would have beat this guy in the later rounds, perhaps 8th, 9th round. He would have got a knockout on Castano and put Castano down. But you can't let Castano fight his fight, coming forward and getting up under you, and then you making it a slugfest in the ring when you don't have to. You don't have to fight that way. We got to be smarter in our fight. So hopefully he's smarter in the upcoming fight with the next fight between him and Castano, the part 2 matchup, because Castano lumped his ass up in this one. So, I mean, like I said, man, it's a split decision draw. The crowd was pissed because a lot of them felt like Castano won. Kevin James knew Castano won and told Charlo, you need to knock him out to win. So, I mean, that's confirmation right there that Kevin James knew that if he didn't get the knockout, in which he didn't in the 12th round, but anyway, they'll be headed for a number 2. All right, let's go to the next one, fam. Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder trilogy showdown rescheduled for October 9th at the T-Mobile Arena. And this is a fight, and a lot of people been on Tyson Fury. We've been on Tyson Fury about all his bullshit had been going on. The fact that he said he had C-19, but then he was out and about in places where he shouldn't have been. It's all kind of weirdness going on. There's, of course, rumors from the camp that he's getting floored by his trainer, by his by fighters and during training. But let's look at this was from ESPN. Tyson Fury and Wilder are set for the trilogy fight for the WBC heavyweight championship again. The battle between the big men is now set for October the 9th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Now, Top Rank announced that this past Thursday. The fight It's going to be an ESPN and Fox pay-per-view event and was scheduled for July the 24th, but was postponed last Thursday after Fury tested positive for C19. Then he got out and about and started taking pictures everywhere. This guy is just a joke. ESPN reported at the time that October 9th was the target date for the rescheduled title tilt. Per sources, Fury tested on July the 5th and was notified of a positive result the next day. He tested negative on Tuesday. Shortly after that was cleared by doctors to travel home. Fury received the first shot and experienced mild symptoms. And of course, this is what he said: I wanted nothing more than smash the big dosser on July the 24th, but I guess the beating will have to wait. Make no mistakes, I will be back and better than ever. We will fight October the 9th, and I will knock him spark out, according to what he's saying. So hopefully you don't put anything in your gloves. You don't try to pay off his trainer to put something in this water. It won't work this time, fam. So you're going to have to take care of business. The champion, ESPN number 6 pound for pound boxer, needs time to recover and resume training camp, pushing the fight to October. But there were also other considerations. So to me, let's get into this one, man. October the 9th, they're saying, for the upcoming bout with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, man. A lot of stuff going on about the reason why this was pushed back was not entirely because of the C19 stuff. He was out of shape. His boxing, I guess, you know, the guys who's training with were knocking him down in fights doing sparring. He was not ready to go for the Deontay Wilder fight. What is your thought process on the move, rescheduling it for the October 9th and the things surrounding Tyson Fury and Wilder?
Oh, yeah. Like I say, he knew he wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? Like we said before, you're a champion in your division. You walking around with all that flab around on your belly, you're not training. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't going to be ready for it. You're supposed to stay fight ready. And you champ, man. He had too much flab around and he wasn't ready. And plus, all the stuff that's been exposed about him, he ain't gonna be able to do no more. Like taking the padding out of his gloves when it comes to the sparring partners. You know what I'm saying? That shit been exposed. So he can't do that shit anymore. And if he is able to still do it, people that he's sparring against are stupid. After seeing the shit on, you know what I'm saying, the videos where they showing this motherfucker padding out of his gloves and shit, and you gonna spar with this guy? There ain't enough money for make you spar with a dude hitting you damn near bare knuckle. You know what I'm saying? So he probably can't do that no more. So his punches ain't gonna be effective on his sparring partner. That's probably why they dropping his ass in sparring. You know what I'm saying? And this COVID-19 shit, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's using that as an excuse to, you know what I'm saying, to not do something. So I'm like, man, he just being exposed, man. Lie after keep lie after lie after lie. He getting caught, man. So he wasn't ready. That's why he used that for the excuse to get out of the fight.
Yeah, Tyson Fury is very, very, very disappointed how Tyson Fury is behaving, man. But I think, like we said about the heavyweight division, it's about to be a big shake up there. Deontay Wilder has blood in his eyes, and Deontay Wilder is gonna really hurt Tyson Fury this upcoming matchup in October. And he's not talking much. He's not doing, playing around and all this kind of stuff. Fury humiliated him, cheated him out of it, as he believed that he had access to his cornerman to dope him. He had something in his glove that actually injured him. And then the WBC didn't do anything but come out and took Fury's side because they wanted to see the fight between Fury and Joshua. And Joshua, he himself is in a difficult matchup with one of the best boxers in the heavyweight division in the form of Alexander Usyk. These are two major challenges for both these guys, both Fury and Joshua, these next fights. And very well, I think Deontay Wilder hurts Tyson Fury and gets him out of there. And it could be a very interesting fight between Joshua and Alexander Usyk, who Usyk is a very slick master boxer and will give some shit to Joshua that we've never seen before. But at the end of the day, this has been moved from a late July fight all the way to October. And they said because of the C19. No, it's because Tyson Fury was out of shape. C19 could have played a part in it, but they pushed it all the way from late July to October the 9th. I mean, that's a good span of time right there. But anyway, it is what it is. And sooner or later, he's going to lose his belt regardless. Chicken shit champion Tyson Fury. All right, let's move on to the next one. And the final one, we're going to talk about Terence Bud Crawford. A lot of family members asking us, hey, Q, what about Crawford? What he got going on? Well, Crawford is waiting all the way until October the 23rd. The last time he fought was last November. That's right. Almost a year, almost a calendar year since Crawford's fought the last time around. To me, this is a shame. Bud Crawford gets later on in his career. He went and signed with Arum, which was a dumb deal. Even when Pacquiao was suing Arum for stealing his money or cheating him, and you go sign with this dude, and it has been an absolute disaster. He hasn't put decent fights together for him. He doesn't want to pay to promote him. It's just pathetic. But anyway, this is supposed to be the last fight with Top Rank, and hopefully he goes with PBC so we can see him fight some fights and some fight better matchups at the welterweight. But anyway, ESPN in Abrams Top Rank says October 23rd is the deadline where you'll see Crawford. Now, according to Bad Left Hook, Crawford may not have yet had an opponent for his next ring outing, but he does have a date. Abrams tells Dan Raphael that Bud will return to action on October the 23rd on ESPN. The fight will presumably be his last under his current Top Rank contract, which expires that month. And Crawford, who's 37-0 with 28 knockouts, hasn't seen action since beating Carol Brook last November and hasn't fought more than twice in the calendar year since 2016. He was linked to a potential clash with Pacquiao in Dubai earlier this year, but the matchup collapsed when the promised site fee failed to materialize, and Pac-Man has since signed to fight Errol Spence. Now, Virgil Ortiz Jr. is presently the number one contender, though he's saying, I imagine Ortiz handlers would prefer at least one more outing before throwing their charge into the deep end. There's also the talk of Ortiz facing former Crawford victim, the Mean Machine, which has been confirmed. So with that being said, now it's also the rumors behind him is with this fight. They didn't mention it here, but Jose Zapata is supposed to be a guy that's supposed to be the one Crawford's fighting on October the 23rd. So two main thoughts on Terence Crawford taking almost a calendar year to fight, man. A full calendar year to fight after beating Kell Brook.
Yeah, I don't like this. Like I said, we talked about before, man. This nigga need to get the fuck away from Bob Arum, man. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Ray Charles, who's dead and was blind, man, has seen it. You know what I'm saying? That Arum don't have his best interest at heart, man. Like he did with Oscar De La Hoya, like he did with Floyd Mayweather and other fighters, man. Like what do we have to do for you not to know better? You know what I'm saying? To know, you know what I'm saying? To stay away from this cat, man. I'm like, come on. And then he talked that he can't promote you. You have to do it. Like, what the fuck he getting paid for? And he can't promote him. One of the best fucking fighters in this era, man. Come on, man. Terence Crawford need to wake the fuck up, man. And, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hire some people that can think for him or something, because he ain't thinking, man.
Yeah, his contract, according to the article, this is the last fight under Bob Abrams' Top Rank. So hopefully he does the right thing by going to PBC and getting with Al Heyman over there. Al Heyman take care of his people. Go over there with Al Heyman. You got all of the welterweights there. We can have the Crawford fight versus Errol Spence finally, and we're gonna finally get that fight, because it was never going to happen as long as he was a top ranked fighter. It never would. But now we have the potential to have it, and I'm thinking hopefully he goes over to PBC and join the rest of those guys over here, so we can get some Sean Porter, perhaps some Thurman, some Errol Spence in there, maybe some Ugas in there, something. But maybe with Crawford, October the 23rd, we said it's Jose Zapata. It's not going to be Udenis Ugas. It's not going to be him, because that guy, Arum, is not going to reach out and get those guys. He's going to get one of his people, a cheap fight just to make the fight, just to get him from up under contract, which is it's pathetic. He wasted a lot of time over there at Top Rank. But anyway, that is going to do it for today's episode of Ring Kings Boxing, entitled Charlos versus Castano ends a split decision draw, and more fight news. I'd like to thank you guys for being here. Please feel free to hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to Ring Kings Boxing, where we keep a real deal Holyfield on that boxing talk, man. We won't play with you on that bull. But anyway, once again, I'm Big Q. I got my co-host Eddie Too Mean Johnson, and we'll be back later on in the week for more Ring Kings boxing fight news. Much love to you. Peace.
Peace.
Perfect. TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.